What is going on, everybody? Good evening. Hello, welcome back for another episode of the Xbox Live Party podcast. Tonight we are on episode 27. And yeah, the weeks keep on churning. I don't know how we got to level 27 already. But here we are.
Level 27.
Level 27. So yeah, joining me tonight we have I'm a Ghostbuster Ash. We have the resident letdown, TheGinnaGaming. And we have Destiny 2 and PlayStation Shield Baldman Gamer. How's it going, guys?
God save the king.
How is it going? How is your week going? What have you been playing? All that fun stuff. Ash, you go first. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, feeling good this week. Finally got some semi-decent news, it feels like, this week compared to the last couple. It's been a bit of a stretch. Busy night tonight. We're doing sort of double duty. We've got the show now, and then after the show, we're having a little break, and then we'll be back live with the PlayStation State of Play. So yeah, that'll be fun. And yeah, game-wise, I've not played a huge amount. I finally 1000 G'd Food Truck Tycoon.
Hey.
Hardcore gaming. I'm wanting to jump back into Valhalla, and I've been playing a lot of that Disney Dreamlight Valley as well.
Nice.
I've not had a lot of time, so I've just sort of jumped on it like an hour at a time, sort of thing, and just had a little play. And the rest of the stuff's just been reviews, so I'll not go on about them now because we'll probably be doing videos on them or articles on the website. So stay tuned.
Cool, Gina, what have you been up to?
Not a lot.
Fair enough.
Not a lot.
BmG, what have you been up?
I'm trying out a new camera angle because Redders keeps pestering me to move the camera, so you can now see my kitchen.
Is your kettle pink or white, and is it just the
It's
white?
a pink. I have a pink kettle.
I'd rather see your kitchen than the back of your head. Do you know what I mean?
I need to know what's in the fridge. We need to know what's in the fridge. We need
What's
to know
in the
what
fridge?
Virginia has in the fridge.
And
Yeah,
there's
that's
like
what I-
Carrots?
sun cream.
We'll never know.
I do have carrots. Yeah. Patreon exclusive. I'll show you what's in the fridge.
Yeah, hides the
Depressing
second
cost of
chimney.
living crisis. Minimal stocked fridge is what it is. Now I've been playing a few games. I tried that Dreamlight Valley as well. I tried to get my kids to play it. It's a lot of text for small children to read. They were like, "Oh, excited!" And then I was pressing A, and I was like summarizing what I said. And fuck me, Merlin waffles, doesn't he? That guy can go on.
It's not a game for little kids. It's a game for. It's the game that you should give your wife if they like Animal Crossing. Basically, it's just a Disney Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So, but there's not a lot of content. Like there's a lot of to it, but there's not a lot of characters. Half the ones in the trailer aren't actually in the game yet. So Wreck-It Ralph, Belle, Scar, pretty much 3/4 of what they show in the trailers isn't actually in the game because it's a live game. So they're getting Scar soon, and then Toy Story a bit before Christmas. So I don't know how they can get away with showing you a trailer where none of it actually exists. Though it's a bit dodgy.
It'd be like making a trailer for a game where all the armor doesn't appear in the game a year later. Terrible. Speaking of, I've been playing a bit of Halo Infinite. I jumped in for the Yapping event, which is actually fun. It's crazy how they did a video saying we're a competitive game, and then they put a fun playlist up, and everyone was like, "This is fun. I like this game now." And it's like, yes, although it's still sweaty because they still have skill-based matchmaking in casual. So I had 3 games on the bounce, first to 100 as a team, kills, and I finished 100 points to 98, 100 points to 98, and 100 points to 99, which is proper sweaty and nervy. And it's like, I just want to chill. I'd be playing ranked if I won this. So, and other than that, that's going to be my only weekly Halo rant.
So your biggest argument about Halo is that you can't smash noobs.
Yes, this is exactly what's wrong with it. Or party up with the noobs afterwards so I can keep smashing them. It's missing those social features that made the old games great, you know?
You can't send them easy messages saying get good scrub and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, there was 2 people in the game, in different games, who were chatting. The one was playing music and just chatting to people in the background. Just shit going on in his kitchen. But you can't press the back button to get the scoreboard up. You can't mute them through that. So you have to remember their name, press the Xbox guys, and then go to recently played players, find them and mute them there. I was like, oh, this is a
That's
fucking
silly.
A lot of
hassle.
hassle. Remember when we were playing Evil Dead Redders and there was that random person playing
Oh,
the
yeah.
music every so often?
Yeah.
It's nearly as bad as Timmy when he puts all his music on right loud in background. Like, you can hear the game louder than his voice.
Because
Like,
he
I don't know,
sits
he must sit with
literally
his
right on
microphone,
top of
like,
his
against
TV.
his telly. That's it, yeah. Can hear yourself like echo back.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing. But yeah, I hate it. Every game should have a mute button.
Yeah, it's basic stuff. Like if you don't put that in there, you're shit. And that's about it, really. And of course, I played some Fortnite with my mates and tried some other games. Yeah, I've done a lot of gaming this week. It's been good. But
Nice.
yeah, that Valley game, fuck me. So much text.
It needs to be advertised a bit better. I feel
Yeah.
it's a decent game. Like I say, it's minus the odd bugs. It's very well polished. Like the graphics on it are really nice compared to like Animal Crossing and all those farm games. And it's got so many nods to like Disney, classic Disney stuff. I mean, I've just got the fireplace from Up. It's even got like all the pictures of his dead wife and everything. I'm
Yeah.
like, fair play. There's loads of cool stuff in it. But yeah, I feel like it's been advertised more for kids, and it's not aimed. It's not really a kids game. It's a farm sim life sort of game, isn't it?
It's adults who like Disney game and want to live up in the nostalgia. It's not for kids at all. Like so.
Yeah.
Fair dues. Fair dues. BMG, what have you been playing this week?
Not overly a great deal. As usual, doing my Destiny 2 stuff, the superior FPS to Halo.
Both are shit.
As we all know. I've been playing a bit of that. Is it the Forgotten City? I think I was calling it the Forgotten Ones the other day.
Yeah, Forgotten City.
The Forgotten City. Yeah. I've just done my first like time loop bit where all these gold people tried killing me, and then this guy turned to a skeleton and I ran through a hole, and then like, oh, I'm back again. So yeah, I'm trying to figure my way around that at the moment. What else have I jumped into? I've jumped back into Assassin's Creed Unity after the Ubisoft showcase, and that I thought,
Nice.
I do need to go back and finish. So I thought I'd jump back in, have a bit of a play. Last night I jumped back into a little bit of Horizon Forbidden West on the old PS5 there for about half an hour. Then I got a message saying you're jumping in Destiny, so I jumped back into Destiny. But yeah, other than that, that's about pretty much it for me. Not much gaming this week.
You need to hit up It's Timmy V2. He's just bought Destiny and he's looking to get playing with people. He's got no one to play with, so drop him a message.
Yeah,
That noob.
Give us a shout, Timmy. I'll get you in. Hit me in the DMs on Twitter, or I'll message you. I'll get you in the clan, and eventually, over the next couple of years, we'll catch you up.
Nice. Next
One
couple of
of
years.
us. That's what they're like.
One of us. One
That's
of
it.
us.
So, what have I been playing? I can't even remember. Been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla again since the Ubisoft showcase. I went back to try and finish that game. I've completed Dawn of Ragnarok, completed the Mastery challenges, and I have grown to absolutely fucking detest the roguelite mode because it's awful and it has no business being in the game. I'm not enjoying it at all, but there seems to be a lot of achievements tied to it, so I've been grinding away at that today and yesterday. That's about it, really. I haven't really played much this week. It's been a bit of a quiet week. But, yeah, it is what it is. So, shall we get into some topics?
Nah, I'm done for the week now. That's it.
Cool, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back next week.
Yes, lots of topics.
We have a lot of topics tonight. First off, let's start with Disney and Marvel Game Showcase. We'll keep it short and sweet because let's be honest, the show was short and sweet. What did you guys like about Disney and Marvel's Game Showcase?
It wasn't sweet. It was shit. Short and shit.
Best thing I liked about the show was the end.
It was a bit like that, wasn't it?
I like the Dreamlight Valley Toy Story announcements. They were cool because, like I said, that's what I've been playing. But the fact that they then announced afterwards in like a dev diary that they were then doing another bit of content before that, I'm like, why not show that as well at the show if it's coming before it?
Yeah.
So it was an odd show. It was very weirdly done. It was lacking in gameplay massively. I mean, if any like major team had put that out, like Xbox, Nintendo,
Oh, they got
PlayStation,
torn
they
to
would have been
shreds.
destroyed. But there wasn't a huge amount of non-mobile stuff. The is it Amy Hennig's game that sounds
Amy Hennig.
interesting.
That does
It's
look good, yeah.
a single player where you play between 4 different characters through the story. By the sounds they said afterwards, didn't convey that. Like I said, they had a Q&A after the show, but they didn't put that on the actual show. Very odd, very strange. So it was a very shocking show.
Yeah.
All in.
What did you think, Jenna? Did you watch it or not?
I was on chatting with you guys, wasn't I, just before the show started. I went up to bed. My missus jumped in the shower. I put her on while she was in the shower, and it was done by the time before she even got out. I liked that about it. It meant I could watch it uninterrupted. There wasn't much there, was there? The only thing that looked exciting was the one where it looked like you were going to be able to play as the villains, and then it turned out to be a mobile game where you fight the villains. It's like, this is not what you showed at all. And that was the problem with the whole show. What they showed and then what they announced it to be didn't match up at all. So.
Yeah, and none of the rumoured games that all these insiders have been saying were coming for weeks showed up at all. So you're all fake insiders telling us lies. We got no Iron Man or anything like that. Absolutely jack all.
Yeah. BMG, did you have any lasting impressions? Were you there with us, weren't you? So.
Yeah, we was there for the live reactions, which was, it would have been more interesting for us just to all stare at a wall and watch paint dry. It was that, that good of a show. It was literally just seemed to be aimed at mobile gamers. I get that it's a big market, but when that sort of thing, a Disney Marvel game showcase, you're expecting games of everything, bit of everything, and it was very disappointing. I liked, the rumor was the Amy Hennig game was going to be shown off there. We had a teaser that literally was nothing, but apart from saying this is the game. And like you say, it was with the blessing Adeoye Jr. from Kind Funny Games that was doing the Q&A afterwards with her. We got a few more details there, but apart from knowing it's going to be accessible and playable for everyone.
Yeah.
And they made a point of saying everyone of every background and everything. It's like, what? Didn't make much sense, but okay, fair enough. Means I'm going to be able to play the game. That'll do eventually. And other than that, the only other game that I actually liked the idea of, which was a mobile game, was Marvel Snap, which is very much like Gwen, Hearthstone, that sort of game. I do like them little games to have on my phone just to play now and again, and they seem to have put actually more into that Marvel game than anything else in the showcase. So
yeah,
but it wasn't proper Snap. It's not Snap.
No,
you can't call a card game Snap and it not be Snap.
Thanos is Snap. He snaps the fingers. That's what it's based on.
I hope whoever owns the rights to the word Snap, the card game Snap, exactly, Thimber, Snap, the card game Snap, comes after him and sues him for everything they've got. Because that's not Snap. Snap is where you put 2 cards the same down and you slam your hand on it and go Snap and you take those cards.
Then they'll change the name to Marvel Click. Click.
That's fine.
Click. No. But other than that was
Isn't that known as the blip in the MCU? So shouldn't it be Marvel Blip?
Marvel Blip.
Or even just called The Snap would have been fine. But Marvel Snap, I thought I was in for a sort of exciting day of playing Snap with just Marvel character pictures on cards.
You're going to enjoy this game. If you played any Hearthstone or Gwen, you're going to enjoy this game with a bigger budget behind it.
And the only game I'm looking forward to they showed is Midnight Suns. And they didn't show much of it, to be honest. They've shown a lot of it on their YouTube channel. They have like a breakdown of each character and how they work.
Yeah.
And that looks really good.
And it's coming out this year now, isn't it?
Yeah, December.
Yes.
It originally got delayed. Didn't they say that it was being delayed till next year?
I thought they did, yeah.
Yeah, 2023, and now they've moved it back to December. So.
But they've also dropped the Xbox One version as well. So for now, apparently,
you're going to start seeing that a lot more now. I think developers are now starting to give up on the old consoles. I think that's.
We need to. We're at that point now. What, we're 2 and a bit years into this generation, and we're still making games for an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4 when this has been a bigger leap in the generation consoles. It's about time we kind of say See you later.
Yeah.
Xbox, you've got the cloud option if you still want to play these games on your Xbox One. But really now it's time to move on. Let's get games built from the ground up for these new consoles. Because even now, apart from a couple of the features with the new consoles, there's still no real reason to run out and get one. Either of them, PlayStation or Xbox, there's no real reason to have one.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Everything's still cross-platform. It's like, what is the point if you can still play these things on everything? There's only a couple of games on each. I think this generation only, but it's about time that it's going to happen eventually. They might as well just rip the band-aid off and say, right, every game from after this year, that's it. You're getting nothing on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or the 360, or the PlayStation 3, and that's it now. We're moving forward, heading forward. But
I would like to see them use the same sort of budget on their gaming division as what they do on the movies, because I think Marvel have got so many cool characters that could easily have a really solid game, and I just feel like it's wasted potential.
It's not Marvel and Disney making them; it's third-party companies they're basically whoring out their rights to. So they literally don't care. They're here just to take that money for that licensing. Hence why it was so many mobile games. They don't care. They don't have any interest in spending the money anymore.
I would absolutely love to see a Moon Knight or a Daredevil or one of those kind of action games. I think they'd be fantastic. Good evening, Scott. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Remember when Peter Jackson was trying to do that episodic Halo game? And they were like, it's going to be great. It's going to release every few weeks, a new episode. Disney could nail that. Their IPs are amazing. You could have one show up differently every week and all that shit like they do in the comics. Like they just need a dedicated studio. But they had that Infinity, which was making $1 billion or something. They made $1 billion or $2 billion off, and they shut it down because it wasn't profitable enough. So maybe they have an unrealistic idea. They sound like Square Enix. So
you'd think that they would reach out to these developers and say, look, we really want you to make a game of this, like a proper, serious game of this, because I think Batman Arkham is always the go-to. I think that's probably the best superhero game ever made. That's proof that it can be done, and it can be done really well. I would like to see Rocksteady maybe try their hands at a Marvel game. Obviously, it's a licensing issue and stuff, but I just think that Marvel deserves that kind of attention too, because I think. But Marvel and DC, I've always considered Marvel to have the best superheroes, and DC to have the best villains. I think the DC superheroes are fucking god awful, but I love Marvel's superheroes.
Batman, there isn't a very compelling superhero in DC for me. Yeah, really, or people related to Batman. Superman's just OP. That's like saying, he's fantastic at everything except a rock will kill him.
That's my problem with Superman. There's literally nothing you can do with him. Nothing. What's his weakness? Kryptonite. Okay, well, you can guarantee that's going to be involved in some way. Oh, okay, now a new enemy has decided to learn how to use kryptonite against him. Oh, what a shock. Because nothing else can literally kill him.
Batman's main enemy is, orphaned. Someone will mention a parent or a name, and he's like, "Ooh!" So
Martha!
He has his moments as well.
But no, I'd love to see Disney give the rights to somebody that can put out a really good game, not like EA or fucking
Insomniac.
2K,
Spider-Man,
even Gearbox. Let Gearbox have a go.
Gearbox could make a cool game. I feel with the right superhero.
They do a great job on Tiny Tina. And Borderlands. I would really like to see Gearbox take on a Marvel game. I think it'd be excellent. They did Bulletstorm as well, didn't they?
Bulletstorm is so good.
Yeah,
it's such an underrated gem that people always miss. If you haven't played it, imagine
£2 on ENEBA at the moment.
Mixed with Duke Nukem and mixed with sort of the Gears of War sort of. It feels like a Gears of War game, but in first person.
Didn't they used to help Gears of War with the multiplayers and map making and stuff?
Epic made the first 2 or 3.
Epic
but I mean the team.
Gear of War,
the team who did People Can Fly, whoever it is, they used to help with the levels and stuff, weren't they? In the multiplayer.
It definitely has a feel like the characters look very Gears of War, the environments are the sort of, oh, it's some weird alien planet and there's this sort of thing destroying it and taking over it, this sort of horde sort of thing. Feels very, very much like Gears of War, but it's like more fast-paced, action-based, a bit more humorous, dark humor and stuff. Where you like to be able to like kick people in the face and stuff and like combo it up.
I remember,
really good game.
Stubbs was proper annoyed that Outriders has a gun that basically mimics the Hand of Dawn from Gears of War. You know, is it the Hand of Dawn? I can't remember. The beam of light.
The Hammer of Dawn.
Yeah. Stubbs was really annoyed that they basically ripped off.
They should give do a live service Marvel game, a bit like DC Universe Online, and give it to Platinum Games because they're like the best at making a live service game.
I just think
Babylon's full.
There's so much wasted potential. Do you know what I mean? They could be doing so much more. Anyway, I digress. So, other news this week: we had the Ubisoft Forward showcase on Saturday. Me and BMG sat down and watched it. We had a good time with it. What did you guys think of Ubisoft Forward? You can catch all this, by the way, on the channel. We did do watch long, so if you didn't see it, go check it out. Give it a thumbs up, all that fun stuff. Yeah, what did you guys think of Ubisoft Forward?
Do you want to go first, Jenna?
You know, I haven't been into the Assassin's Creed games for a long time. They lost me when they started getting a bit bloated. But there was a few announced there that I actually quite like the look of. Looks like, you know, especially the one in feudal Japan, isn't it? Back to that's the setting that everyone's been asking for since the first Assassin's Creed. It's only taken about 15 years to make it, so
yeah.
Yeah, that excites me. And the one in Baghdad as well, because that seems more like a old school linear Ezio type experience. So
yeah,
I might actually jump back into an Assassin's Creed game. You know,
rumored to
be
be 20
to 50 hours. That one.
Yeah.
Oh, only 50. I might skip that one then. Yeah.
And it won't be a full price game either.
Yeah, $50.
Full price, yeah.
Well, it started out as an expansion, didn't it, for
Valhalla.
but it got too big, so they decided to make it a standalone game. I find it hilarious that they decided that it was too big for Valhalla, given how big the DLCs that have come, not just before it, but after it. Do you know what I mean? Ireland and Paris were massive, although they just looked like more of England, so...
Yeah.
And Dawn of Ragnarok again was huge, so I find it quite funny that they've said that it was too big for Valhalla.
It was too profitable for Valhalla. They went, ooh, we can flog this and we can stick it in a £130 collector's edition with a new statue. And they went, yes, let's go, lads.
BMG, didn't you pre-order that immediately after the show?
No.
You didn't do it?
Yeah, I had to. I held fire for now. To thought we better not.
It does look nice though.
Yeah, it does.
It does. But with the cost of living and everything.
To be fair though, when it comes to Ubisoft statues, you've got to be careful because they never come out looking like they say they're going to look. They always come out like really shit and poorly made. So you probably dodged a bullet there. To be fair.
Yeah. But now they've got Tencent's money. They can put a bit more into it now.
Yeah, they won't. Oh,
Strings.
eyelash go right in my eye.
The pockets that money goes.
No, that's it. But no, Mirage, it was quite a good game from what we saw. Because I think they did a breakdown the next day that kind of said the stuff that we saw in that like trailer. I know it was like an in-engine CGI trailer thing, but the stuff that we saw in that are actually going to be gameplay mechanics like chucking the red mist bombs down at certain points to distract, and the way they were doing the assassinations and taking guards out. So it's I'm looking forward to it. It's like say, and it's like going back to basics, stripped down, only a bit of RPG elements in. So I'm looking forward to it. To be honest, the Japan Code Red, whichever one it was.
Code Red, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm not really yearning for another big open world RPG, but I'm more excited about the Hexy one, the going back to
German witch hunts.
Roman, the witch hunt and that, because obviously we don't know if that's going to be a big RPG or if it's going to be more of a bit like Mirage or maybe something a bit more in between, slightly more RPG. But yeah, the Japan one's not really got me excited. But Mirage, looking forward to that. Hoping if the rumours are right, it's like early 2023 springtime. So we'll see.
I'll tell you what, I remember watching it, the Mirage trailer, and I could feel myself smiling through the entire trailer. And it's been a long time since I've had that feeling, like watching an Assassin's Creed game. Because I used to like get proper excited for a new AC. I was one of those games I bought every single year without fail. Deliberately didn't read reviews or previews. I like to go into it with a fresh perspective. And for the last like 3 games, I was like, oh, cool, new Assassin's Creed. I'll buy it and I'll play it. It wasn't like excitement, you know what I mean? It wasn't that feeling that I used to get when I watched an Assassin's Creed trailer. But I got that back with Mirage. I felt like I was watching AC1 again. I got serious AC1 vibes from it. And I just remember smiling. I could feel myself like I'm not being able to stop smiling. It ticked all my boxes. And so if that's the approach that Ubisoft is going to take, where they release an old school one and then release an RPG one, I'm happy for them to do that. It's like I said on Twitter, that'll keep the franchise fresh. You won't be just getting the same game every year like you used to. I'm all for that, as long as they don't abandon the old school ones. Because the last 3 have been exhausting. 150, 160 hour games. Valhalla, 200-hour game. It's too much.
They have said, though, they're never going to do one as big as Valhalla again, though.
They said that with Valhalla, though, didn't they? Because they came out and said, oh, yeah, Valhalla's nowhere near as big as Odyssey. Fuck me, I'm 200 hours in.
And Valhalla getting another bit of DLC. Yeah,
the last chapter.
Final chapter, or the last chapter.
Yeah.
So hopefully that explains how her body ends up. Spoilers. Well, they do. It's not a spoiler.
It is.
They basically find Eivor at a different point in the world to where you actually play in the game.
Yeah.
So hopefully it explains how she ends up buried somewhere else in like modern day. Obviously, because the game splits between modern and Viking times. So I'm looking forward to it. I like Valhalla. I've got to the point now though where Valhalla, it's one of those things you have to sort of play it in bursts because it's just too much and you'll get fatigued. But honestly, Valhalla, it got me back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I was never massively into it, but from Valhalla, I've now started going back, playing the Ezio collection. I'm starting going through Origins again. I'm going to jump into Odyssey soon, and I've got all of this Assassin's Creed. I'm right into them. I'm getting all the novels and stuff, and I really liked everything I saw at this showcase for it. I just worry they've sort of like splurged the load here with like I think there were 4 games announced or something like that, 3 games in DLC. I just hope that these are either going to be a way off, they're not going to hammer them like on a yearly franchise. As soon as you do the yearly franchise, I'd rather they did them like a bit of a gap with a bit of DLC like Valhalla's done, because I feel at least Valhalla's filled the gap, even though there hasn't been another game. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like I've been desperate for one personally. Obviously, if you like that more old school Assassin's Creed gameplay, you probably are. But if you just wanted an Assassin's Creed game and you're like a casual, Valhalla has filled that gap, and then you've still got more DLC, so you've never missed it as such. It's still there, and there's going to be more. I don't know if it's coming this year or early next year, that DLC.
Or the last chapter. I don't know.
Next year.
But Mirage looks fantastic. There was a bit of and ahhing online over the gambling based on the ES.
Yeah, basically, if a game's violent,
said that's incorrect, and it's not been rated yet. So.
If a game's violent or if it has strong sexual scenes, then they have to put that rating on it. But people saw that and thought, "Oh, here we go, gambling," because that's what Ubisoft is becoming like renowned for. So
but they've come out and said no microtransactions, like loot boxes are in it.
Yeah,
I think
there'll be microtransactions though.
Oh, without
doubt. If you looked at it on the actual. If you went onto like the Xbox store and you actually looked at it, I don't know if they've changed it now. It did say real gambling in the description, as well as violence, sex, and
because it all falls under one banner: 18 plus, adult only.
I think because it was written there, people thought, "Oh, that's what's included." But I don't think they would make that mistake again. I think they've got quite a good way they do it. They've got a store you can buy cosmetics, some boosts if you want to level up a bit quicker. But other than that, that's pretty much.
I don't tend to like microtransactions, but I feel like Ubisoft do them in such a way now that it's not that bad. Like you're not gambling.
I quite like the what they've done with Valhalla, because, like I say, it keeps the game going. You've obviously you get the season pass, and Admittedly, it's annoying when you buy a season pass and then they tack on more DLC you have to pay for. But it is what it is in that sense. They did a full season, then they've decided to keep going. But like
It's
I said,
worth
the
it.
store,
That's a lot of time to invest in that game. So you're getting your money's worth with that season pass.
the Valhalla stuff you can buy in the store. I bought a few cosmetics, but the rest of it, it's like you don't need it. It doesn't affect the gameplay. Yes, you can buy. I think there's like a weapon pack you can buy, but it's only good at the beginning of the game, and literally after about 2 hours, you'll probably not want to use them again.
Yeah, but it doesn't force you into buying them either. Like you get plenty of gear throughout the game. You don't need to go out and buy it.
I haven't. The stuff I'm using, actually, I think it was. I think I've got the outfit you got off of Amazon Prime Gaming, and because it's just the armor's better than what I had, so I've kept it.
Yeah.
And there's currently, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, Prime Gaming, you can get the High Elf bundle off Prime Gaming right now, which gives you a shield or something for your ship, a bow, and a settlement pack for free as long as you're a Prime subscriber. So check that out.
Yeah.
But Assassin's Creed, the future looks bright. All of it looks really cool. I'm looking forward to it. The rest of the show was fine. No, it wasn't that exciting. It made me chuckle how up until the Assassin's Creed, they had to have like hard code subtitles because everyone was obviously French, but you couldn't understand what they were saying without them at some points. But that made me chuckle. They obviously realised people are going to be like, what are they saying? So they didn't even just give you the option to switch them on. They actually burnt
hard-coded
them into the screen. Yeah, hard-coded them in. But nothing else really jumped out that I was desperate for. Everyone was waiting for Assassin's Creed. They should have done it as its own separate stream. And I didn't really like the bloke who's in Assassin's Creed, the voice actor. He kind of ruined it for me. He didn't
Sean,
gel.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, but he didn't seem to gel with all of the guests that were on. He was like asking questions like in a pre-recorded show, and they didn't seem to want to answer them. He's like, can you tell me about this? And they're like, why are you asking that? And it's like, well, it just didn't seem right. Like they weren't clicking very well. Do you know what I mean? It's an odd one, especially when this was pre-recorded. They could have cut that out as well, but
yeah,
who knows?
It sounds like Assassin's Creed Infinity is not going to be the live service game that everybody thought it was going to be. It turns out it's going to be more of a hub where that just basically connects Assassin's Creed players together. Fair enough.
I think it's going to be like the Hitman launcher that's there now, where it basically starts linking all the games into one launcher.
Yeah, maybe.
But obviously, with Assassin's Creed, they've said they're looking at doing a multiplayer game in the future.
Yeah.
But it's like going to be like a hub, and I bet the store's built into it, and there'll be some social aspects and building that Ubisoft Connect, so we don't have to keep opening that bag of crap up to get me free costumes.
I wonder if they'll do away with that when they release the Assassin's Creed Infinity, but then that covers all the Ubisoft games. So. But yeah, I hate that, especially when it like pops up in game, because you'll get you'll complete an achievement, say, and then it'll say hold something to move the game forward, and then you press the button, and it pops up Ubisoft fucking whatever it's called, Ubisoft Connect. I can't stand that. The amount of times I've opened that app.
I have used it though. I like the stuff you get in the Ubisoft on Assassin's Creed, especially the costumes and the cosmetics and stuff you can unlock by just playing and doing. Sort of like it gives you sort of, they're not achievements as such. They're sort of like goals to do. It's like kill so many with this weapon and stuff. And if you get them, you get points. But what your points build up, you don't have to use them in that game. You can use them on any game that supports it. So I've used some in Watch Dogs and stuff like that, and stuff I've earned in Watch Dogs I've spent in Assassin's Creed, and I like it. It's just super clunky. It feels terrible, and there's got to be a better way to implement it. Yeah. So
it is very awkward.
I'm really excited for Unity. Not Unity, whatever Mirage. It's called again.
Mirage.
Yeah, no, not Mirage. The Infinity or whatever it's called. The idea of it sounds really good. We'll just have to see how it plays off. Hopefully, it's not some really shit PC launcher or something, because that wouldn't surprise me. But and also Ubisoft Plus is free until the 10th of October or something like that for everyone on PC. So if you've got a PC, jump on and have a play, because there's loads of games on there. I mean, it's only for PC. There was no Xbox announcements or anything, unfortunately. No PlayStation announcements or anything in regards to the service. But it's a Plus for PC players. It does sound like there's not a lot of players on it though, if they're giving it away free for a month. Do you know what I mean?
There's a new Assassin's Creed coming to mobile. There's a new Netflix show being made. There's a lot of stuff going on with Assassin's Creed, which is great because I think it's unlimited potential
Assassin's
in that
Creed
franchise.
cookbooks. That's what's next.
I really want them to move into the future. I would love to see an Assassin's Creed set in the future. I think
I think it could work, but it'd be a bit watchdoggy, wouldn't it? Watch Dogs, but with Assassin's Creed, I feel.
Yeah, but then
or in the Splinter Cell universe, because we're never getting a new Splinter Cell game.
Sam Fisher can be a Templar or something like that, can't he? Or an assassin. That's it.
Give us an Assassin's Creed set in a cyberpunk dystopian world where the Templars have taken over, and you have to go back in time to the present day to solve the Templar crisis. That's what I want to see next. But yeah, that's all we got for that. I enjoyed the show.
It was a good show, but it was a bit of a drag to get to the Assassin's Creed. It was a very long show. They had a lot of
hour and a half.
It was so much better than the Disney. They had a lot of gameplay show and stuff like that. So fair play to Ubisoft for it. It's just a lot of the other Ubisoft stuff is a bit naff at the moment, and we could have skipped that and just done a half-hour Assassin's Creed mega show.
More content coming to the Division 2 as well. There's like a year 7 or whatever it is. Content.
And a free-to-play version, like a spin-off, isn't there? Like a
Heartland, is it?
Yeah, there's Heartlands and is it Heartland and Resurgence? The Resurgence is the mobile version. Heartland is the PvP versus a PvP VE game that they're bringing out, which is free to play, like a battle royale, but Division. So that looks cool. I would still rather have a Division 3, but we have to wait.
I was gutted we didn't get any gameplay for Mirage, because you would assume it's a fair bit along now if it's coming out.
Well, yeah, it's meant to come out this year, wasn't it?
Early, yeah, you would think they could have had, with all the gameplay we showed of all the other games that they went into stupid detail of that I didn't even want to know. I didn't need to see a boss battle in Rabbids because it was just depressing. I didn't need to see more than Skull and Bones to, try and convince me how paying 70 quid for it is going to be every worth penny spent.
It looks like Ubisoft Sea of Thieves. That's what the game looks like.
Yeah,
it does look really pretty. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought the textures and reflections are really pretty, but it's the worst part I hated of Assassin's Creed 4. So I got no interest.
We just didn't get any actual gameplay for any of the Assassin's Creed announcements. Everything that was shown, we got no gameplay for anything.
Yeah.
That was the only downside. I thought we was going to actually see actual, even if it was a small section, following a target or something, and then at the end jump to a cinematic or something like that.
I need to go and
we'll get it soon, hopefully.
I need to go and work out the timeline because I want to know what comes first, Basim or Altair. I wonder if that's going to lead into the formation.
It did come out though as well, and they have said they're not even developing an Assassin's Creed 1 remake at the moment, because that was everyone was saying that was coming at the showcase.
Do you want to know what I think? I think that somebody has seen images or at least gameplay of Mirage and gone,
thought it was Assassin's Creed
like
1.
Assassin's Creed 1. Because like Baghdad and Jerusalem, very similar.
So but they did say in that interview, he did say they are gonna in the future. They are looking when they've got the Infinity Hub, bringing the older games that have kind of been left, bringing them up to par. So maybe in the future we're gonna get like Assassin's Creed 1, Ezio Collection. They're the main ones that need this like revamp and. An update. I'd sooner have an Ezio Collection remake than Assassin's Creed 1.
It's always really annoyed me that they never made games based around the statues in Ezio's dungeon. It always annoyed me that because there's those statues in his dungeon where you have to unlock the armor of Altair, and Aminet is one of the statues. Aya from Origins, Bayek's wife. She's one of the assassins in that dungeon. That's why I always wanted her to have her own standalone game. I would like to see just it come full circle, so you know why that armor was there. Do you know what I mean? There's so much they could do with that timeline.
I just want them to bring Desmond
giving him the
back.
credit,
Give
though.
no
they will, though, won't they?
explanation.
They'll bring him back. They can bring him
Yeah.
back now. You know, now they've got reincarnation and shit brought into the
Yeah, but
game.
no explanation. He's just back, and they don't even address how he's back or anything. He's just there.
I didn't die. I just took a nap. Woke up in a morgue. So yeah, that pretty much covers that. So if we can get into some of the meaty topics, the biggest one this week is Jim Ryan. Good old Jim. He has called Microsoft's Call of Duty promise inadequate on many levels. Now, for those of you that don't know, Microsoft wrote a letter to Jim Ryan and PlayStation saying, look, we want to give you 3 more years past the time that you have left with Call of Duty. So essentially it would have been the next 6 years. And Jim Ryan has snapped back saying that this is inadequate. And what I have found incredibly funny about this entire situation is just how many people have laughed at the idea of Jim Ryan saying it's inadequate. I mean, not even just Xbox guys, PlayStation guys have said, well, you know, you've overplayed your hand here a bit, Jimbo. What do you guys think?
He's yeah. He says it's ridiculous. Like, how can you complain about it? They're going to own the IP. I get that apparently Activision does it for 8 years at a time at the moment, or something along those lines, which is probably what he was expecting. But I don't think your biggest competitor is going to give you the same treatment.
Yeah,
Like, it's just, yeah, he's off his head. There's no other way to describe it. He's off his head.
I think he's
Off his head, he is. Off his head.
I think
Especially today, you know, one of the biggest arguments you see from the fanboys is, yeah, but there was an established player base. The game was multi-plat first. PlayStation doesn't do the same. And it's like, well, it has historically, many games. And also today, Octopath 2 was announced for PlayStation, but it's not coming to Xbox. But the first game came to Xbox and not PlayStation. So it looks like they've paid for exclusivity on the sequel, which is apparently something they would never do. They don't take the games away.
I want to say, though, it may just be that they're going to announce it's a Game Pass edition is it tomorrow or the day after at the TGC, because
maybe
that's a big Japanese game that will appeal to Japanese gamers, and having a Game Pass thing. I feel like that could be it. I don't get why they would do the first one and then drop it and then put it on PlayStation, but not the first one.
money.
But,
Final Fantasy
I
recently,
agree that, but I don't think it's to do with PlayStation myself, because it's coming to all sorts this time. But if it is coming to Xbox and they're going to announce it on Thursday as like a Game Pass sort of announcement, the fact that they've not bothered to just put it saying coming to Xbox as well is a massive sort of shot in the leg, because like everyone's now like, oh, Xbox isn't getting this game, blah 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 blah, rightly so, but they're all going to be like, that negates it, and then that's all the negative press on it. And if you happen to only watch the Nintendo Direct, you're not going to know about that, because not as many people are going to watch that TGC show by far. So they should have, if it does come to Xbox, which I hope it does. Not that I'm the biggest fan of the game. It's a really good game. It's not my cup of tea. But if it is coming and they've just literally saved it for their TGC showcase or the TGS showcase just to say it's coming to Game Pass, they could have at least just put coming to Xbox as well, and then just announce the Game Pass as like well, hey, otherwise it just doesn't make sense.
another way to play.
And if that's not the reason and it's not coming to Xbox, it's just yet again Square Enix taking a big shit on Xbox and fans. Like, haha, we brought you the original, you've got invested, but now we're not letting you have the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? It's just silly.
Yeah, but they've done it with lots of games. Lots of games get launched and Xbox is missed off, or it's PlayStation, or if it's a PlayStation one and it's their event, they don't announce it, so it looks like it's just PlayStation.
They do that normally.
You find out a week late. Is it happened with the latest Resident Evil, didn't it? And Jeff Keighley put out a thing going, "Oh, exclusive to PlayStation or whatever," and then like a minute or two later, the Street Fighter, sorry. And then a minute or two later, he was like, "Oh, also coming to Xbox and that." And it's like, well, you're meant to be a guy in the know, and even you didn't know it was coming to other consoles because of how they like mislead and label it and like to chuck it on there. Like,
it definitely feels like there is a power shift between the two consoles. because it's hard to look at anything Xbox has done recently and take fault with it. PlayStation seem to have become really complacent, really out there, and people are now starting to wake up and catch on to it. Like, hang about, this isn't on, and I think that's really cool to see. I like seeing those power shifts because, yeah, there's literally nothing that Xbox has done recently that I can turn around and say, well, they're a bit underhanded for doing that, or they're out of order for doing this. Back in 2013, man, I was literally tearing Xbox to pieces after that whole Dominatrix Xbox One, outstanding clusterfuck. So yeah, I don't mind holding Xbox accountable if I feel like they're doing shady shit, but it just feels like they're not doing anything shady at the moment. All the momentum shifting, a lot of positivity around Game Pass, a lot of people getting behind these big acquisitions. It's hard to pick fault with them at the moment. And the fact that they've now reached out to PlayStation and gone, well, you know what, here, have another 3 years on top of what you've got left. And for Jim Ryan to turn around and go, I'm not happy with that. It makes Jim Ryan look weak, and it makes PlayStation look weak. It makes them look desperate. And you wouldn't have thought that, considering that they have the number one market share. But it makes them look desperate.
It also makes all of those PlayStation fanboys that have come out going, Phil's a liar, sack him, sue him, when they literally said, like, what was it, a couple of years? They didn't say we'd give it forever. Literally all of the discussions they've said, and it seems to be overlooked a lot online. Like, they're lying. They're not lying. They literally said a few years. A few, by definition, is more than 2. That's 3, plus whatever they've got extended. So it's like 5 years. So I don't think anyone's lied, and you all look like idiots.
It makes no sense to make Call of Duty stupid. It makes no sense to make Call of Duty exclusive. Why?
I don't think they will, but they're not going to sign a thing saying they're never going to do it.
They didn't do it in Minecraft, and why the fuck would they want to half their revenue from that one game? Makes no sense.
Yeah, PlayStation will be paying and they'll be negotiating the fees on microtransactions and stuff that they earn because they earn big bucks. Of course, Xbox is going to come out and make it seem that, well, this deal might not be there unless you give us enough. They're not going to go, it'll always be there, because when it comes to renewals in a few years' time, PlayStation's going to go, well, you've said how important we are, we're going to offer you pennies. Whereas now if they're kind of bigging it up and we could take this away from you and you need you need us, etc., and big up how important it is, they're going to have to offer more money. It's money end of the day.
Scott says, while they haven't had any PR gaffes like this, their first party output this year has been very poor. Yeah, it has been. But to be fair, they have Game Pass, so it can be quite poor. Like, they've got, you know what I mean? Like, they don't need to have those exclusives to stay.
Output is only because they delayed everything from last year. If everything that had released, if all these games had released when they were supposed to, what would PlayStation have released this year? And I'm hoping tonight afterwards you can join us after this show at 11 p.m. for the State of Play. I'm hoping they start telling us some of the big name games that are coming next year, because as it stands, what PlayStation exclusives are coming out next year, like made by PlayStation?
I can't think of any.
I don't think maybe Spider-Man 2, because Wolverine ain't coming next year. I know. I don't think Wolverine will. They won't do 2 in the same year, I wouldn't think. But it's a weird one.
Sorry, Muppet says PlayStation lives on multi-plats and bangers don't bring in enough money. You know what? He's got a point. Like, as great as PlayStation's exclusives are, they don't have a very high attachment rate. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not selling like millions of these exclusives.
Well, they do sell millions. They just don't sell like tens of millions. Yeah.
I want to agree with something Scott has put on the chat. He's personally, I think quality of Game Pass has dipped recently. I agree with him. I think some of the games the last few months has been poor, but then you look at what's released this year. There's nothing out there. There's no big games to go and get because they've all been delayed or haven't released. The only thing I would say, like, we got Hellsinger coming this month. Deathloop is rumored to be coming this month. We just had GoldenEye announced today. It's picking up again now towards the end of the year. But there was a few months when nothing was out. I thought Saints Row would have gone on there, or one of the other games that were coming out, because there was nothing. It was a dry few months. You think they would have grabbed something other than nothing but indies, But the indies have been great. They've been chucking out. I've been enjoying them, but they just missed a couple of AAA games to pad it out, or they just got delayed. If you think about all the games again that were due to release, like Stalker, etc., and they had released, it would probably have been an excellent year for Game Pass. They're just delayed.
Jay Rembert says the MMO should never be exclusive. After 3 years is up, they should make the standalone exclusive and market the hell out of COD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, cheers for dropping by. I don't think I've seen you in chat before, so it's really cool to have you here.
I want to just say I don't think Game Pass has been that bad. I like we've still got some really good games coming. Like we've got Plague Tale coming, we've got Scorn, Pentiment. There's all sorts of course, and it depends what sort of gamer you are. Like if you're a casual gamer, I think Game Pass has been fantastic. Like some of the stuff, I'm just trying to get it up in front of me to see what exactly. I hate this.
They
bloody
stealth
Game
drop
Pass
shit
app,
as
though.
well. That's another thing I like about Game Pass. They stealth drop. It's not always known what's coming.
Yeah, there's rumours. Like I said, there's just to tie this in. I know we're probably going to talk about this in a bit, but there's rumours. The Bethesda game is going to drop this month. They're going to stealth drop it as such.
That
The one
definitely.
that's PlayStation Deathloop.
Deathloop. Yeah.
If that drops, that makes sense. But I don't mind. Yes, there hasn't been any big major AAAs, but I've had so much fun playing so many games that I would never have played, and I've started getting into so many different genres, different sort of franchises.
It's already released one game of the year, isn't it, with Power Wash Simulator?
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Or Midnight. I really
Amazing, that
enjoyed
game.
Midnight Fight Express. That's a great little game.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But we've had quite a bit. We've had 2 Point Campus, Dreamlight Valley, Turtles.
I think it's
been
just
quite
not,
a bit.
it's not quite what we had last year. I think last year spoiled us. Last year was immense.
Yeah.
The end of this year looks great. I think the summer, it was dry for all gaming though. Like there was nothing coming out for weeks on end.
There's always something coming to Game Pass. You know, it's not like we get like 2 or 3 games a month. I mean, there's a good 6-8 games coming every single month.
Game Pass has been doing its job though. Like they've been slapping it to PlayStation. Like they've had Death Stranding and stuff like that. A lot of games people want that are on PlayStation. When they come to them, like Bugsnax, you may laugh at that, but that was a sort of one of the main launch exclusives for PlayStation. When it finally went multi-platform, it was straight into Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? They've been doing it with other stuff as well. As soon as they become multi-platform, these exclusives, they're jumping straight onto Game Pass, which is great because it's good marketing. Like people are like, oh yeah, we didn't get it, but now we're getting it for free, basically, for a small fee. Before anyone jumps on me because they do. But I find that Game Pass to me though, like they've been getting all these different genres, like they've been getting all these Japanese games and stuff like that. We've been getting the Yakuzas, the Dragon Ages, the Octopath Travelers, Personas. That's coming. Persona. You're gonna get Persona anytime soon. It's supposed to come this year. We're supposed to get loads of Persona games.
It is the gift that keeps on giving, for sure.
Yeah, and they have announced a load of cool stuff. You forget what they have announced and how much is coming, but it all depends what you like. If you want those big AAAs, then yeah, it's not been as fancy as it could have been. Do you know what I mean? I understand that. But I think that the quality of the games has been just as good, but they're just not AAA for some people.
Yeah.
So but that's just me, and that's just my opinion. Like I say, I'm not saying anyone's opinion isn't valid. Like, if you think some of these games are shit, it's your opinion. However, like this month, it's getting gutted. There's a big, massive games leaving soon. Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10 plus going this month.
They're saying there's a good chance that Gotham Knights might even go in the Game Pass.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, I do apologise. I'm super hot this evening. And I'm literally sat here dripping. I know. I don't know why it's so hot. It's pissing it down.
And they just updated a load of the EA games as well for EA Play. Like, is it the FIFA? They put the new FIFA in, or was it the?
Oh yeah, they normally go in around September. Yeah.
So
it's just stuff we don't think of, but for like casuals and like I say, the generic wider people, I feel like it's not been bad. I'd like to see more. I'm loving for me personally. I use Game Pass more. I use it for the Xbox exclusives just because then it's not a massive expense on a game, and all the indies. I'll literally try and play as many of them as possible. So
I'll tell you what, I play shit I would never even thought I would have played.
Yeah,
like today I downloaded DC Super Pets. Like Never in my
Oh, yeah.
my life would I have played that if it hadn't been for Game Pass.
I've been buying all of Outright Games as games for my kids because they seem to have the hold on like kids tying games. But the fact that that one's come in so quickly, and we've only just watched that film about 2 weeks ago, me and my kids, that saved me like 30 quid, 25, 30 quid, whatever it is nowadays for that. So,
yeah.
Winner chicken dinner. And like there's Metal Hellslinger coming, You Suck at Parking. Beacon Pines looks interesting as well, something different. So you've just got to like broaden your horizons. But like I say, there's a lot of cool shit that we should have got now. That's all been pushed back. There was that High on Life that's been delayed and stuff.
That's only delayed to December though. That is still coming this year.
Yeah, but it has been delayed. Scott's put anyone playing Disney Dream Valley? Yes.
Ash
Got to
loves
do it. I do love it. I bought the expensive edition from
Founders.
Yeah, I bought the silly version, but I got it discounted online, so I didn't pay what they're charging. But yeah, really fun game. I have to have all the
I'm gonna have a
stuff.
look at it, but I haven't got around to it yet. There's Assassin's Creed Valhalla's a time sink, man.
That's it. You're never leaving Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I need to get it done. I'll tell you why I'm so determined to get it done, because I've done all the others, Origins and Odyssey. I got all the achievements for DLC achievements, base game achievements, and now I feel like I owe it to myself to get all the Valhalla achievements. And I've only got the Forgotten Saga achievements left to get, but that roguelite mode is dog shit, and I hate it. I hate it so much. It should have no place in Assassin's Creed. So as soon as I get that done, it's going in the bin. At least
they tried something different. Do you think that's a test for a possible spin-off game in the future?
I hope not, because it's awful. It is awful. It's got no purpose being in that game. Why do you bought the Founders Edition if it's on Game Pass? Because then he has it forever, and he's got all the stuff.
Didn't they delay Stalker 2?
Yeah,
because that was coming to Game
Pass.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because
I didn't buy the Founders Edition. I bought the Ultimate Edition, not the Founders. The one that comes with all the extra content. You get clothes, you get costumes, I've got enough for 7 battle passes or whatever their equivalent of battle passes is worth of entries, so I don't have to pay for them either. So winner chicken dinner for me.
Scott says, "Can I ask a favour? Future shows can we schedule them so they don't clash with the Bake Off?"
I've said this, Scott. I've told them this. I said we were going to cancel it for a couple of months, but I got outvoted because I need to see what cupcakes and shit are being made. So
you spend too much time in Greg's. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Cake and pastry connoisseur.
I went to Greg's today, actually.
Shock.
Chicken and stuff in baguette. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
I went to Radford's Pies to get a sausage butty today. You know that 26 kids and counting?
Yeah.
They live in the same area as me, and they've just down the road from me. They've got their pie shop, so they actually do really good.
26 kids and counting.
Have you not seen it? It's
No.
Is it BBC or Channel 5 show? Yeah, 26 kids and counting. They go holiday, they do everything. They've got a full show, absolute full show that they go filming them and everything.
Is it what it sounds like? It's a woman who's had 26 kids. Fucking hell, man.
They must
crazy.
drop out now.
Go on about how they live on benefits and everything like that, and he's got a Porsche
Amazing.
SUV parked outside his 5-story house.
Got to keep that child support rolling in, yo.
They just got back from Florida.
hell.
You know, they got a paid holiday to Florida so they could film them on holiday. Well,
That's crazy.
Sounds like you've had a tough, bless them.
yeah, they have. You know, living on a budget each week for shopping, and it's hard times.
The horror. Thimba says, so why are you guys holding a podcast today? Nintendo UK legit didn't broadcast today an event out of respect for the Queen. You know what?
That's stupid.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
watched it live.
I'm pretty sure Queenie wouldn't give a fuck if there was podcasts running today.
She loved it.
So here we are. She loved a good. She loved a good gaming
loved
show.
Octopath Traveler. She's she was a big supporter of XBL Party Podcast UK. Listened to it every week. Every week she was listening. It's because stupid things like they literally put it on YouTube, but they didn't put it on the UK YouTube. So I watched it earlier live, the Nintendo showcase. And there was some nice stuff. I'll not bore you all with it, but the fact that it was on the the US one, you could just literally type it in. But for some reason they went, nah, you can't watch it from the UK account. But it wasn't geo-blocked or anything. It's just stupid.
I don't get it.
Oh.
There's a couple of other podcasts that aren't running today because of the Queenie dying as well. I don't get it.
I apologise if the royal family is upset that we have done this Xbox podcast, because I know they love listening to it and they obviously won't be able to. They can catch up with it on Anchor. We're on like audio or on demand on YouTube. You can watch it back. But
I hear Prince Andrews is a big BMG fan.
Yeah.
I'd save the king.
I don't get it. I don't get
She'd
it.
probably be laughing. She's probably up there going, "What the fuck are these dickheads doing? What the hell are Centre Park sending all those knobheads home when I'm fucking dead?"
That's true, Scott.
BMG
I am
is too old for
for
him.
Prince Andrew. I know I look very young in my looks, but I am too old for him.
You
That
do have
sweat
quite
would
a
just run off your head.
you do have quite a baby face. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, thank you.
Don't know how. How old are you?
Fucking
You're
liar.
older than me, aren't you?
Well, it's because
You've got to be at
I
least
go
40.
down to my local bowling alley and I like to give my head a polish now and again in machines.
How old are you?
36.
Fucking hell, same age as me.
And me.
I look like a fucking melted welly.
Welcome to the 36-year-old podcast. And
Whoa,
Ash,
whoa,
who's
whoa,
like
and
47.
That's what we should call the show, innit?
I'm 32, you cheeky bastard.
That's what we should call the show going forward. Gamers pushing 40.
It's all the chemicals in that Greg's. It's aging you.
It is. Chemicals, wife, kids, life, just the hardships.
It's all downhill from here.
I can't believe you were once an Abercrombie and Fitch model, and now look at you.
I know.
I don't buy it. I think he's
Tough
talking
times,
shit.
tough
I want
times.
to see the catalogue that he's in, and then I'll believe it. I'm not going to believe it until then.
I'm going to whack it out one day and you'll be shocked.
I don't want to hear about
And
you
you'll have the
whacking it out.
catalogue out as well.
Future's bright. I'm going to be a Greg's model. It's going to be good.
We've still got a lot of shit to get through, so
Has
better
anyone
read-
actually
let's
seen
crack
anyone wearing
on.
the Greg stuff?
No, I can't even find him anywhere. God, I'd be wearing it. I'd come on with that Greg's
Fucking
jumper.
hell.
I want the
Give me-
Greg's.
The Greg
Bucket hat.
sliders, the Greg
Yeah.
shorts, the Greg socks, the hoodie.
So, Microsoft has reportedly started refunding players who have pre-ordered Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl because the game's release window is now uncertain.
Well, at least they're sending him a Greg's out as well, to sort of say sorry. So it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
sorry, your game's cancelled. Here's a sausage roll.
I do feel
Sorry,
That's
really...
not true.
What did you say? I completely just blanked and everything you
Jesus.
just said.
Start talking
Oh.
Greg's and it all goes to shit, doesn't it? Fucking hell.
You mentioned Greg's. I'm like that guy from the uncle from what's it called now? Meet the Robinsons, where he sees the toast. That's me with sausage rolls and that from Greg's.
You like Homer Simpson when he sees a donut.
That's it. Yeah.
Greg's.
I'm not the fussed on the sausage rolls from Greg's, but like those pizzas. Oh my god, the pizzas. I do love a good pizza.
Wow.
from
Sausage
Greg's.
bean cheese melt.
Oh, okay, I'm in. They're good.
The problem is they do Greg's at the services, and it's a big drive to work and stuff, and it's like $2.50. You get a bacon sausage sandwich and a hot chocolate or a coffee or something. It's good value.
You need to go
Can't
to
go wrong.
Iceland. Iceland have got the exclusive
Yeah, you can cook
thing
your
for
own
all
at
the
home.
frozen. I've got a freezer full
Cook your
of
own
Greg's
Greg's.
cheesy and pasties.
The problem is though,
cheese melts in the fridge.
next month when my fucking electric goes up, it's going to cost me £6 a pasty just to cook them. So I'll be fucked. I'm gonna have to keep going to Greg's.
Welcome to the
Barbecue.
Greg's podcast.
Get a bit of coal, get barbecue going, and just stick them on there. It'd be really
Set fire
Saving it.
set fire to my neighbour's fence and just cook it on that.
Yeah.
That'd be right.
It's the same thing.
So, Microsoft has started handing out refunds for players who have purchased.
Well, it makes sense if they don't have an estimated date. There might be like a limit that you can have pre-orders or something on the Microsoft store. Who knows?
Oh no,
I
you
remember,
can buy as many you want Greg's pasties as you want. There's no limit. You have to pre-order.
I remember seeing. Fuck me. I remember seeing that that dev diary from the guys who made Stalker 2.
Yeah.
Tell you what, man, they're in a really shit situation because like when they're not developing the game, they're off fighting the Russians. It is quite literally like that. When they're not in the studio, they're out fighting Russians. So they're in a really shit situation.
Wish them the best.
So even though that game is coming to Game Pass, if you want to support Ukraine's, then buy the game. I feel like those guys have gone through hell to develop this game. So go out and buy it. Even though it's coming to Game Pass, just buy it. They deserve it. So that's probably why it's been delayed, because fuck knows when the game's going to be ready. They're too busy fighting Russians.
No, if they're refunding,
because it requires pre-orders to be cancelled after a certain period of time. That kind of makes sense. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
So.
And I suppose they're probably not even sure when the game's going to be done, so makes sense. No. Give people the money back, and then some point next year, or if it has to be the year after, then come back with a new date, timescale, and pre-orders. But yeah, no, as echo what Redder says, best of luck to them. Support the devs. I do think if you actually go onto their Twitter page and the website, they have got links to like charities and things to help them, as well as the people of Ukraine. But yeah, all the support in the world to them, and take all the time you need. Don't rush it. There's more important things than games.
Yeah.
So South Korean action game Gungrave Gore is officially coming to Xbox Game Pass on day one. So that's some really cool news. Never heard of Gungrave Gore before. Actually, I think I have. I think Timmy linked me it once to ask me what I thought of it, and I didn't watch it. Actually, I think I did watch it. I can't remember. But yeah, it's coming to Game Pass on day one, which is really cool.
I never heard of it until that announcement it's come to Game Pass. That was Gungrave, and I never heard of it. Never heard of the game before, and I don't know if it's just something I missed, if it's something I haven't paid attention to, but no, I never even knew it existed, if I'm honest.
In other news, Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal now have officially assumed control of the Tomb Raider and Deus Ex franchises, respectively, from their previous owner and former parent company, Square Enix. I think this is great news.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think this is great news. I think we might finally get a Legacy of Kain.
A Tomb Raider collection, like with all of the PS1 games on. That's all I want. I don't care even if they don't have to be remastered. Just stick some achievements on. I'll be happy with that. Just bring them bloody back. Like Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3. Then was it the one where she's dead, and it's like you're at a funeral and everyone's reminiscing? That one. Put them in a little collection. I'll be happy.
Yeah,
and then there's a collection with all the PS2 games on.
It's time they brought back Legacy of Kain.
Yes.
Yeah. Soul Reaver. To be fair though, Legacy of Kain is rubbish, but Soul Reaver was awesome. Like the original Legacy of Kain, that like top-down sort of game, was not good.
They can do it now though. People have been asking for it.
I think they will. Are they owned by Embracer now?
Yeah.
Oh, Embracer will be all over that shit. It'll be out next year, 100%. They'll have something out, I tell you.
Another
was
news.
it the remastered Shadow? Is it Shadow Warrior or whatever it was? The one where you're that guy that can go between the living world and the dead world.
Wang something. I think it's Wang, isn't it?
Shadow Man.
Shadow Man.
Oh, Shadow Man.
I don't know. I bought that. I haven't actually played the remaster yet, but I can't remember who makes it. Might be.
Because they did Stubbs the Zombie as well, Embracer. That's fun.
No, Stubbs the Zombie was done by Aspire, that was supposed to be doing the Knights of the Old Republic before they had it ripped from them for doing a bad job. But the Stubbs the Zombie isn't a remake, it's just a very poor remaster. Worth getting. It's a fun game. But there's as little remastered as possible. They've literally just made it work on big screens and put achievements in. There's so little done to it, unfortunately.
I've never played Stubbs the Zombie. I always wanted to. Never got around to it.
What? Really good. It's the only other game made on the Halo engine other than Halo 1 and 2, I think.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was made on the... I'm sure it is. It's made on the Halo engine, but that was it. They never used it for anything else, so...
They used it for Halo Infinite, but looks of it. Woo.
Nah, it would have worked then. Oh, we're gonna keep it going. Don't worry.
Another
Do
news.
you know, I
More
hate it
funny.
because I hate people thinking that we're just shitting on Xbox. I do like Infinite. It is a very, very fun game. It's just it's just lacking in the aspects that mean I want to keep playing it. Do you know what I mean? So
I can't wait to play the co-op in the next 5 years.
Very optimistic there.
Yeah.
Ginna, do you
I hope
want
it lands November. Hope it lands in November.
to talk about Halo's big news this week? Because I can't.
Well,
find
the
the article.
happening. I
No.
know Bonnie Ross is gone. She did such a good job. They had to replace her with 3 people. No, I to be honest, I think it's long overdue. But she left because of personal reasons, which is sad. But I think it was a good move for her to go. She kind of founded 343. It was her vision of how Halo was going to be, and that's why we got Halo 4, 5, and Infinite in her vision. She greenlit the awful Paramount show and then wanted to expand further.
the Paramount show is good. I will stand by.
I do like that. I do
Bar,
like it.
bar,
You
Quan!
wash your mouth out. If it's not Halo, it's a sci-fi program, and they
it's
just
a great
use
sci-fi
a Halo
program.
aesthetic.
Bit of Master Cheeks.
Yeah, I love
Exactly.
it.
It's got Quan. Any program with Quan in cannot be good, all right?
Wrong.
Worst
Just ignore her
character ever
episode.
invented. But no, I think it should hopefully be a good change. It was long overdue. Like if this was any other industry, if a football manager had been in charge of a club that used to win, like Man United, how they've fallen from grace. Imagine them going 15 years or so and not making a change once. That's what happened. Like they just didn't change anything at the top, and they just kept, avoiding relegation compared to where they used to be. So no, it's good. Good luck to her with her family issues. I hope it's not like that Insomniac family issues where he left and then had a new job the next week.
That's
But
bullshit, isn't it? It's just a cop out to save her face from getting fired.
I don't know, because she said in a statement, she did say, I'd
he
really
was
do
going to carry on,
whatever,
wasn't he?
whatever the family issues are and the medical issues where it is, I hope everything's okay and she's going to be okay and the family's
Yeah.
okay. That's without saying. But she did say she was planning on leaving once the winter event was coming out anyway, so she had already planned to leave. And obviously, this emergency has sped things up. Don't get me wrong, I do understand she's done a lot and everything, but problems with 343, at the end of the day, she's the studio head. Whether she was personally making the game or just to get them telling her what they were doing and she just nodded or said no, whatever, the buck stops with her at the end of the day. It's top and bottom of it. Same with anything that goes on in Xbox. At the end of the day, it all falls on Phil Spencer.
Shit rolls
He's the
downhill,
head of
doesn't it? That's the
Xbox.
problem.
It does. But maybe it's going to be a good thing. Hopefully, it's going to be a change in the direction of the studio. We can only hope for that.
Apparently,
But
the guy who saved the Master Chief Collection has taken on the job, so maybe there's hope for it yet.
but like I said, they split it between 3 people, haven't they? So
Surely, though, that says that she was doing more than she should have been. Like they've realised, actually putting all of this on one person's shoulders is a bad idea, and I feel like that's the case with a lot of companies. When you stick that one person at the top, they're gonna they can't oversee everything basically. So
it doesn't help as well that when Phil got his new role, he's like, what is he, president of gaming in Xbox or something? She was made
CEO
VP.
of Microsoft Gaming.
Yeah, she was VP to him. She's vice president of it, so like she took on extra responsibility then as well.
So she's the VP of Phil Spencer and also the head of 343.
No conflict of interest there at all.
You're right.
She was probably like, she's been relying on the people below her to kind of run things.
Yeah.
And
What makes me think
in the loop.
What I will say is what makes me think the family issues are probably more legitimate and she's not just an excuse to get out is that she's stepping down from her role with Microsoft completely. It's not just she's given up 343 and going to her other role and keeping that on. She's going completely from everything. So
I bet she ends up in PlayStation within 3 months.
No, but the fact she was planning to leave anyway, so because that's the thing. A lot of people, she's probably going to go to another studio at some point or do something else, and people are going to go, "Oh, that's it. She was jumping ship and this and abandoning." But she did say, "I was going to be leaving anyway, but this has just sped things up because I have to." So,
Yeah.
whatever she does, at the end of the day, sometimes a change, can never hurt.
Needs
Hopefully
to happen.
she goes on, things sort out, she moves on to other things and does well in the future, and hopefully 343 can, with 3 people now sort of leading the way, splitting the workload, maybe they can kind of turn things round a bit and go in a bit of a different direction, and we can actually get something decent out of the Halo franchise, and maybe more than one season a year.
Slow down. Come on. It's
Something
not
needed to
crazy.
happen because, like, for a long time while since Halo Infinite come out, it's always felt like someone's asleep at the wheel. Seems to be a massive miscommunication between developers and fans. So maybe things will improve now that they got fresh blood at the helm. But who knows?
It's hard because you look at the Master Chief Collection with the multiplayer side of it and all the stuff that thing keeps getting and everything they've got in that. It's like, how can they, if it's all the same studio, why can't they kind of just have a team working on that to bring that into Halo Infinite? And
The problem
migrate
is,
with all the stuff.
the problem is that launched broken. It literally didn't work for 18 months. Every game, that's what every game they do, they don't learn from their previous mistakes. They seem to make mistake after mistake. So hopefully that is ironed out now. All I want to see from them is just no more mistakes and fucking broken games and patches that break shit and changing stuff the fans don't want change, but the pro gamers want change. They need to. That's one thing they've really lost their way with under Bonnie Ross is the focus on competitive and professional gaming and going away from the fans. The amount of times where fans are like, no, we don't want this change. And then they change it anyway.
And it's not even like this is like the first game it's happened on. Like there's been something broken in the last, 2-3 Halo games.
Yeah.
So
You've got to think though now there's more content coming out for MCC because there's just a small team and they're pumping them out bit by bit. What they're doing with Infinite now is they're working on future content. So when they finally get the shit together, it's gonna roll. So they're already working on like the next season and the season after.
Yeah.
We're not looking at it right. We're looking at like, well, where is it now? But they know that if they pump everything and bring it out now, there's going to be another massive wait. So there may as well be a wait, build up that content, and then it'll should go smooth basically after that. So when they finally start bringing the content out, they should have like a backlog. And I think that's just the problem they had. COVID and their weird sort of systems Microsoft have where you can't have like people on your books for so many years if you just
18-month contract.
Contractor, so you end up having to teach people everything again. It just doesn't work. So hopefully now this will appease everything. But yeah, it sucks because we just see it as was no content. We want some content, but
it doesn't help that Microsoft now has a company-wide hiring freeze as well. So they can't even. If people are like, oh, give them the money, employ like double the size of their studio, get them lots of devs. They can't hire people at the moment, and then they've got contractors whose contracts are running out because they've been doing for 18 months and are leaving, and they can't replace them. So it's just going to get worse over the next few months instead of resources. So I mean, they just need to realize what they've got and what realistically they can put out, and just make sure they stick to it.
Why are they not allowed to hire people at the moment?
Sorry. Just Fimber's comments in the chat, he's put, you guys should be thankful for her. She fought for Halo when Microsoft wanted to kill it all together. She said she's retiring, not joining any other company. No, she didn't say she was retiring, she was leaving. We're not saying she is joining another company, but she is leaving Microsoft 343. So it's only... we're assuming eventually she was planning on to moving on to something different. No, that might not even be in the gaming industry. Could be anywhere. Could be anything. Could be gaming. Could be nothing to do with it. We're just assuming that is the idea she's move on, but she's leaving earlier due to this medical issue with family. She never said she was retiring. And I know you're saying we should be thankful for her. No one's saying that we're not grateful for anything that she has or hasn't done. Microsoft wouldn't have killed Halo because Halo is the flagship for Xbox. It has been since Xbox One. They would never kill it. Whether they shelved it for a few years and then found someone to do something, they were never going to kill it.
I reckon Ginna's been sending her hate mail.
Halo was always going to be on every single console one way or another. But
I don't want it to come
across that we were saying that was all.
I reckon Ginna's been sending her death threats. That's why she's leaving.
No,
She's so sick of it. He's had
Come on,
enough.
take him away.
I don't do death threats. I would have sacked her though. If I was a boss, I'd have sacked her before. But
And you like sacking people, you
He
don't
loves
you?
sacking people.
no.
You wake up in the morning just to sack people.
But no, Fimber, sorry, no, they weren't going to kill her.
I hope none of your workmates watch this show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was just going to be, they would have just found someone to do it. They would have come up with something. Clearly, she had the best idea at the time for Halo, the best vision than what anyone else was presenting. But they haven't got Bungie, you see, so they have to.
Yeah.
I know Bungie. They're shit hot, aren't they? They were with Halo. They have been with Destiny. I mean, Destiny 1 had his issues. Destiny 2 launched with some, but they sorted them out pretty quick.
Quicker than Halo.
Yeah,
But they did.
exactly.
Oh, right. It was Destiny 1, Destiny 2 launched as an absolute shit show. I remember paying like, what was it, 50 quid at the time for Destiny 2, and in about an hour and a half you were finished with the game. You're like, what do we do now? You know, but you know, they quickly learn, they quickly fix mistakes, and they're always improving. It just seems Halo keeps
cannot
standing on
have-
that same rake over again and again in the front garden. It's, you know,
Cannot have a live service game that doesn't have regular content. It doesn't work.
exactly.
It just doesn't work.
But that was it last week we were talking about it, that they should have made the winter event the new season.
3. Yeah, call it season 3.
Exactly. Yeah, and they would have got away with it.
You pesky kids that have got away with it if it wasn't for you.
That was it. But no. What's the best thing we're getting out of Halo? The happening. The yappening.
I will say the happening is very good, and that's more of what they need to do. Just embrace the enjoyment and the community, and just like fun events. Just go mad with it. Like, yeah. Fuck me.
Guys, if you are watching this show, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because it really does help us out with the algorithm and whatnot. And don't forget to stick around after the show, because Ash and BMG and maybe even myself are going to be watching the Sony State of Play. So lots going on tonight.
Live.
So let's get into the next topic. Discord voice chat is coming to Xbox consoles today. Users will be able to connect to Discord calls from the Xbox One and Series X and S consoles. Pretty cool. I don't really know much how it works. Probably not a feature that I'll use. Ash and BMG seem to know a bit more about it than what I do, so take it away, guys.
Go on, BMG.
All right then, fair enough. Yeah, it's it properly launched today. I say I first I knew about it is when I went on Discord on my mobile, link your Xbox console. Yeah, but the idea is it's pretty much eventually, you know, this is still baby early steps that as we are now, we're in Discord now. We wanted to jump onto the Xbox. We could jump onto the Xbox and move the chat over there. We can also invite people that are also in Discord into that chat, so we're not having to leave this and then jump into Xbox, start a new chat. But to be honest, right now, it's, I say, still in the early stages. It's going to be a better thing once it comes fully integrated into PlayStation as well, which, again, it's still strange that even though they've bought into Discord and it was announced first by PlayStation, them joining, and they still haven't got it, which is still very strange. But once we've got that integrated into PlayStation as well, that's probably where you're going to see mainly used in the console gaming space, because then that cross-platform and cross-play is going to work so much seamlessly when you can actually all be in one chat together in Discord and have so many people on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and be able to play right across without having to be like Destiny, for example. If I was to play with someone on the PlayStation, the only way I could talk to them is if they was in my fire team or they was in close proximity. Same with like Friday the 13th, Evil Dead. They've got the cross-platform, cross-play. Again, you can only hear in proximity, which most people tend to play games with the friends and as a group more than anything else. So it's a welcomed feature, but I don't feel it's going to get used to its full ability until it's on everything. Once everything's got it and it's working seamlessly, because I believe today there's nothing but issues and problems. People can't connect it. They're just getting errors. But it's a good feature. It's a welcome feature, and I'm glad we've got it. It would have been nice if it rolled out on everything at the same time, and we can get full use out of it. Because I think we will. I think it's going to be some, you could be gaming, playing whatever on Xbox multiplayer, and then someone calls you on Discord. You can have them join in the chat, even join game. Because I'm assuming we'll start getting some features in the future where someone can see it in Discord and click join game, something like that. I can see that coming in down the line, but yeah, it is a very much welcome feature. I can't wait until it's across everything. So, because I have, as Ash is the same, we've both got PlayStation 5, so we've got friends on there and people we play with, as well as Xbox. It would be nice to have everything where we can all play together, because it seems we are getting more and more in that direction. Where things are going to just be more cross-platform, cross-play, and all that. And yeah, to me, it's a good thing. Nothing I'm going to use right now, especially today where it's absolutely not working at all. But yeah, it's a good feature to have when it works.
Yeah, I agree there.
Cool. Other news coming this week. We got loads of news this week. Sorry, we are on 9:30, and we still do have quite a bit to talk about. So,
Go!
CD Projekt Red announced that Cyberpunk 2077 is getting the Phantom Liberty expansion. My God, I can't wait for this. I've been itching for a reason to go back to Cyberpunk. After the 1.5 patch, it's easily become one of my favourite games ever. So, and I've got Edge Runners to watch as well. I'm looking forward to watching that. What do you guys think of the new expansion?
Yeah.
I
Fair
still got to play the main game, so
it's one of my favorite games, honestly. Like, the story's great, the setting's great, the city is absolutely stunning. Easily the best open world city in any game. Shame it had to get criticised so heavily and patched beyond recognition for it to work properly. But but by the sounds of it, they're going to continue to support the franchise even after the expansion. Hopefully we'll get another Cyberpunk in the future. Would really hope they push out a new game. There's so much potential for that world, you know what I mean?
It's got the best dick physics I've ever seen.
It does.
You can spin your character around and make that baby swing.
And
but the new DLC they've announced 2023 it's coming, but it's only for this gen.
It's only for this gen. They're abandoning that gen, which kind of needs to happen.
Much abandoned. Yeah,
kind of needs to
they've
happen.
refunded people who bought the special edition 1X, haven't they, as well?
Wait back a sec.
Yeah, they're giving him a refund because obviously I assume they said they were going to get more content,
But I remember, didn't it, when it was, I can't remember if it was the first or second Night City Live you thing that they did. They said there was multiple expansions in the works, but they have come out and said that this expansion that's coming out is the only expansion they're doing. There's no current plans any expansions past. Because I know, I said Redders, we were talking earlier, was saying they're going to keep supporting it and stuff. And it's like, well, to me, if you're saying there's only going to be one expansion, that's not supporting the game.
No.
That's one expansion and making sure there's no bugs. It just seems a shame. Have they got a lot of stuff that they think, well, we could save this for another game? Maybe that's the kind of route they're going down. But to only be doing the one after everything that they've been through and all the delays and all this stuff, this roadmap they did and all this stuff coming down the line to say we're abandoning PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which is right. It should have never come out for them consoles in the first place because it was clearly a big mistake.
It would have suffered a better fate, I think, if they only been developing for next gen.
But now they're doing one expansion for the game and that's it, they're done. There's no more expansions coming out after it, which to me says they're almost abandoning it after that. You're going to get this new expansion.
No, I don't think they are. Because like they put out that announcement today saying that they're going to continue to support the IP.
The IP
in the future.
That's not the game.
I reckon we'll get another game.
Future games.
There's a Netflix show coming out, isn't there, as well for it soon?
Is it not live? I think it's already.
It might be live now, but I know it was coming. Is what I mean.
Let me have a quick look because I did see something before on Netflix.
Yeah,
we have a bit of a gander.
In fact, it is actually all 10 episodes are live now on
nice.
I'm going to watch it
Netflix.
tonight, I think.
Is there Keanu Reeves in it?
Don't know. But Keanu Reeves is in the DLC.
Nice.
There's someone called Hikari Tuchuria and Takakado Honda and Ken.
Ken. Get on, Ken.
The name's just Ken.
Fair dues,
Yeah,
fair dues.
you can imagine they're gonna support it in. Yeah, I can see.
There's so much potential for it.
Future games.
Like they can do anything they want with that franchise. They haven't got to follow law, you know, because even The Witcher has to follow law to some extent. They can do whatever they want.
Isn't Cyberpunk 2077 actually based on law?
No idea.
Was it a
Yeah,
board
I don't
game
think
or
so.
something? Yeah, it's an actual licensed IP. They've
Oh, is
like,
it?
same as The Witcher. Yeah, I can't remember if it's a board.
But they can do what they
it's a
like, is what
board
I'm saying.
game.
Like they can do what they like with that city, that world, that story. They can do
Oh
what
yeah,
the fuck they like
definitely,
with it.
definitely. It's a shame. I have bought it. I have got it. I do, but I've not really got it because
Amazing.
I was having problems with it. So I did refund it the first time.
Yeah, I started
got my
playing
money
it.
back.
I started playing it when it first came out, and I thought I'm not playing this. It was like half an hour, 45 minutes into it, and it was buggy as shit. I was like, I'm not playing this. I'll wait till they patch it.
It's the police. I
never
shot
about
someone, bashed him into the
Fucking police.
vending machine, and then about 6 police just appeared around me and shot the shit out of me. I thought, well, that's not right. Just didn't even teleport; they just appeared. It's like, what the hell's going on here? But
So
yeah,
yeah. In other news, the Xbox Elite 2 controller is entering the design lab, which I'm really excited for. Mine is now starting to fall to bits. It's been 2 years. The rubber grips have started to come off. The buttons have stopped working, so it's time for a new one. So
See,
I'll be getting one of those.
Sorry, I was going to say if you've already got your Elite controller, wouldn't it, instead of doing the Design Labs one, wouldn't it be more benefit in getting that cheaper version, the white one?
No, because
you've already got all
I've
the bits to change
lost
it.
all the bits on my Elite 2.
Right.
I need to get them all again. I moved house and I lost the fucking holder with all the pieces in, so I need to get a new one. But that's really cool. Looking forward to getting one of those. Yeah, which ties us into the next bit actually quite well. The Elite Series 2 is getting a cheaper version that doesn't come with all the accessories, and that's going to be $50 cheaper than the one that's out at the moment. So that's really cool. I tell you what, if you haven't had an Elite 2, I swear by them. Wouldn't go back to a standard controller.
I had an Elite and 2 and got rid of it. I just never used it. I really like the current Xbox pad. It does everything. I don't care for the paddles or anything like that. And it's so light. They're so light now. They just feel great. Whereas the Elite just feels heavy. So
fair dues, fair dues. What else? Oh, today Rare announced that GoldenEye is getting a remake. We kind of knew it was coming. Achievements have been live on it since January.
not a remake. It's just getting re-released.
Is it
they've
not a
said.
remake?
No, it's just a remake. It's a remaster with
Cool.
better resolution and achievements, basically.
Nice.
I do want to shout out though to all those bellends online moaning about multiplayer, because the Switch version that's been announced has multiplayer. The way the Switch works is when you pay for that Switch Online, it emulates the N64 version. So the Switch version isn't the up-resed with the 4K resolutions, like a refresh rate and everything. It's just the N64 version. The way their multiplayer works is it sort of emulates everyone's screens as if you're all sat together, but you're all on separate screens, basically. It works, but it's not that great. So it's like you can't matchmake with people or anything like that. You just literally have to be on with your friends at the same time, and it sort of says, "Oh, this person's screen is the first controller port. This one's the second. This is the third. This is the fourth." It's not made for Switch. They haven't got a special deal on the multiplayer. It's just because the Nintendo Switch Online has like a special like local online mode, similar to what Steam does, where you can play local multiplayer online. Xbox doesn't have that, but the Xbox version's got the better resolution, it's got the achievements, and it's going to be free for all owners of Rare Replay as well, which is nice. So I assume it's going to be a DLC or some kind of addition to Rare Replay in some way, and you'll access it through Rare Replay. seem to make sense from what
Cool.
they've been saying, I would assume.
Like that Disney collection. With the
Yeah.
Jungle Book.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be like that, but with full achievements. Like the way Rare Replay works is it's got all those games in, but a few of them are actual separate games, but they launch through that launcher as well. It might not, but I would assume if you're getting it free of your own Rare Replay, it's probably worth them doing like at least one extra section for GoldenEye in there, just to make it the sort of definitive Rare Replay. So it's not a remaster, but well, it is a remaster, I suppose.
It's got better frame rates.
But it's what's annoyed me is it's not the version by the looks that came out and got leaked like a year ago, which I've got on my laptop, which you could download, which worked through an Xbox emulator. And it was it was like Master Chief Collection, where you could switch between the two graphics modes. You could play classic mode and then remade mode with better graphics, and it had all been remade, but you could switch between the two. They've not gone with that. It looks like it's just the same bog standard game, but upscaled, which is a disappointment in my eyes. I feel like they literally finished this game. Why did they never release it like that? Why have we sort of gone back through? So
it might be licensing, because Nintendo couldn't release it without Xbox saying yes. Xbox couldn't release it without Nintendo saying yes, and maybe Nintendo didn't want it wouldn't run on the Switch when they didn't want this fancy version looking great on the Xbox when their version looks like the old one potentially. So shame we're not getting multiplayer though.
Yeah. But there's local multiplayer, like it always was, the exact same multiplayer. You've just got to remember, right? The Switch isn't getting any special multiplayer. It's just got a weird, shitty emulator for its online. So everyone's making a big deal of this online. It's not got a special mode. It's not had anything else made for it. It's the same game. It's just the Switch's online functions emulate their N64 games, so it can sort of split screen with online, but like you sat in the same room. And Xbox doesn't, so it's Rare aren't slighting us. Rare haven't done anything. This is a Nintendo giving their fans extra, unfortunately. So
fair dues. There's
a lot of misinformation going around, but it's been clarified. But obviously that doesn't get up to the top of the Twitter feeds, does it? It's all the negative that's at the top. So
hope we get big head mode.
Oh yeah, it's exactly the same game.
All that's in there. There's achievements that are tied to doing certain levels at certain speeds, and you unlock like silly modes and shit and
runway.
Weapons.
That was always the speed runners one, wasn't it? Runway.
So that's cool. So the last bit of news for us tonight, we have Xbox is getting an improved UI screen coming in 2023. I've seen it. It looks quite cool. It just looks like a giant Game Pass advert, which I'm okay with, as long as it runs fast. I don't really give a shit.
I don't think it needs it though. What we've got now is fine. Like it works.
The biggest complaint is people can't see enough of their screen, and if anything, this seems to block the screen more.
Well, what are we looking at on the UI?
It's the dynamic backgrounds, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got dynamic backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah. Don't bother me.
You're supposed to be playing games, not looking at your backgrounds.
But some of these backgrounds are sexy.
Who cares?
Master Chief with them.
Master Cheeks. I bet Gina does have the Master Cheeks.
Yeah, Master Chief showing you how much content is in Infinite. That's all it is.
So yeah, they've released more dynamic backgrounds for Halo Infinite than they have seasons.
Yeah, that pretty much covers like all of our news stories, all of our big news stories. Don't forget at 11 o'clock, BmG and Ash, and maybe even me, depending on what I'm doing.
Is it 11 o'clock tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 10. I was thinking I might push through. Jesus, I ain't going to make 11.
You pussy. What an absolute lightweight.
No commitment.
No commitment. First chance he gets to bail out, he's on it. Look at him.
That's it.
I've been working hard today. I'm very tired. I was in the office and everything. It was a tough day.
Only sacked 6 people today.
I was aiming for a baker's dozen. Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you come back at 11 o'clock to catch the state of play. We'll be back for that double duty in it tonight. And we've also got a review that's just premiered on the channel.
It goes live at 10 o'clock.
Oh, mine
Premiere.
says Mine says it
Yeah.
premiered at 9:30.
Oh no, it's set for 10. It's set for 10. It's just
Alright.
a Switch review that it's needed to get put out because I totally forgot to upload it. So it's now
Fair
uploaded
dues.
for all of you sexy people. I also did a review of Frogun on Xbox earlier today. If you're an Xbox fan, so check all the reviews out. Leave a like, leave a comment.
And we're making
because
that.
It helps us grow.
We're making the
Tell
big
you
push. We're making the big
Yeah.
push for 1,000 subscribers as well. So share the shit out of all this content.
And we've had it on good authority from Fabio that the first RPG session is sort of edited, sort of redone video with sort of edits and all sorts of funny stuff put in is apparently done. So that'll be coming to Patreons in the next day or two.
Nice.
Once he's uploaded it, and then early next week it'll be there for non-patrons on the channel as well. So there's loads of content, and hopefully we can do another RPG session soon as well, guys. Because
I have one question. Did you send Fabio the bits to clip and tell him which bits were funny, or did you let him choose because he's the least funny guy I know?
He says this isn't like, he's like editing and putting overlays and things popping up on screen. So this video it's not like a trimmed like 10-minute edit. This video is, hang on, I'll tell you. He told me the time earlier. I'm just trying to find it.
Gonna get a cinema release.
1 hour and 21 minutes it is. He's cut it down from 2 hours. So it's trimmed like 40 minutes, but it's still a big edit. So it's coming. It's the Fabio cut.
Yeah, to be
Hour
fair,
and 20 minutes of highlights of a 2-hour show.
we did spend
Your
the best
content's just
part.
that good.
We spent the best part of an hour just getting to the river.
That's true.
Yeah, to
That
be
is
fair,
true.
you've got to think this isn't best like a trimmed edit and best bits. It's like an edited version where he's
The
put in,
director's cut.
apparently. Yeah, it's like he's put overlays and music and sound effects and clips and stuff in between it to sort of go along with what we're saying. Apparently, I've not watched it yet. It could be awful, but I have high hopes. Fabio's told me that it's his best. It's his magnum opus. He said.
So what he's done is he's taken it from a 2-hour video to a 1 hour 20 video that's going to get copyright striked for all the music he's put in.
Yes,
Excellent.
but hey, at least he's here for content, so it's all good.
Which is more than what you do, Jenna.
You just got nearly 2 hours out of me. Look, I've been here.
BmG's been here 5 minutes and he's doing 2 shows. He's double dutying today.
He is. Something I will say, my missus earlier, I said I'm going on the podcast. And she's like, "Ooh, am I on tonight?" And I was like, No, this is the one where we sit and talk about games. And she's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that shit." But she is very much up for doing gaming with the Ginners. She actually wants to do it.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Be hilarious watching you have like massive arguments about with each other over
Yeah, it
games.
will be fun. I'll have to download. I'll have to download COD though, and she's better at it than me. I don't like COD. So.
No, get that moving out. Moving out, that'd be hilarious.
Get games where you have to work together.
Overcooked
And that-
and stuff like
yeah.
that. Overcooked drives him mad.
That'll
Do,
really
do a playthrough of that that 2-player one where you turn into
Takes Two.
puppets. It
Takes
takes
Two.
2.
Yeah, I might do that. That's not a bad shout.
play games that will test your relationship.
Yeah,
That
we
game about
want to see it
getting
crack. We're not
Yeah.
horrible. We just want to see your relationship fold live on screen.
Anything
As
for
long as
the
it gets the
views?
subs up.
Yeah. I think your domestics would make great content.
Yeah, I do as well.
Nothing like two gingers arguing.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for the show. Cheers for tuning in. If you have, appreciate you being here. Thimber, Muppet, Sentinel. We had Jay. We had Scott. Who else have we had? Muppet. Have I said Muppet? Well, yeah, all you guys that have been in chat.
Isuko was here.
Masuko is here. Always great to have you guys here in chat. You're always very supportive, and we do appreciate you. But for now, that has been the end of this episode of the show. But we will be back in an hour's time, so stick around and don't forget to check out Ash's review at 10 o'clock. Anyway,
Yeah,
all the best.
It's like a AAA
Absolute banger. Can't wait to see it.
hidden puzzle game. Oof.
See you in a bit, guys. Have a good evening.